With the rising swells and churning currents, the clock is running out for any chance of survival.
That is the worst thing that can happen to a lifeguard, is that somebody drowns on their watch.
The gentleman came running up saying that there was someone in distress. He thought that he saw one of the individuals in the group get hit by a wave and not come back up again.
We're getting a report of a possible missing swimmer in the water.
It's been 2 minutes since the witness saw the man submerge. Lifeguard Sean Dale and a nearby guard quickly enter the water to search for the victim.
Dispatch from IC. It's a young male with dark hair, a white male. We're going to continue moving forward with Codex response here.
A Codex, it's a submersion.
A Code X signifies the highest level rescue call on the beach. A drowning.
Our most dreadful call is a drowning. If somebody's submerged, brain damage sets in 4 to 6 minutes, to be blunt. Time is of the essence. We want to be able to find this person as quickly as possible to give them the best chance for survival.
Sam, let's be firm. If you have jet 2 in the water, we'd like it to respond.
Lifeguard Shiloh Spangler arrives by PWC and is one of the first guards on the scene.
There was 2 other guards in the water when I first got there. It was in a rip current area, so it was really murky.
4-foot swells and 8-knot wind creates poor visibility. To find the victim, they'll have to put as many lifeguards in the water as possible.
Is there a unit from La Jolla coming as well?
3 Sam with 2 dive team members, 4 in total.
Grant, you run this team, all right? You're the line leader. You'll need a line. We got 2 teams of 4. Excellent.
I'd like to request air support from San Diego Fire, and they can respond to come up on Lifeguard Dispatch 2.
We had medics responding. We had police responding, and we had a fire rescue helicopter. So it's very important for all those different resources to have a point of contact, which is the incident commander, Sergeant Lewis.
With the rising swells and churning currents, the clock is running out for any chance of survival. Sergeant Lewis can only hope the response is not too late.
That is the worst thing that can happen to a lifeguard, is that somebody drowns on their watch.
Making matters worse, a fast rising swell is speeding up the current and clouding the water. As more guards arrive, Sergeant Rick Strobel begins to implement a search strategy designed to quickly cover as much area as possible.
In a Codex, what we try to do, first of all, is to put somebody in the water and go to the spot where the person was last seen. The next thing we do is we want to mark that area so we know where that area is so we can search around that. We call that a datum point. And then we start putting in our line search teams. Are we ready? We have 3 defined teams.
Yes.
Okay, get into your area. When somebody goes missing inside the surf, it's a real challenge to try to find them. There's a lot of currents, there's breaking waves. So what we utilize is a line search where we bring in lifeguards, put on masks and snorkels, fins, and they actively hold a line and they keep a distance where they can see each other, and then they sweep through an area trying to find the missing person.
Lifeguards place 2 dive teams just beyond the breakers and deploy 3 line search teams directly into the surf. The PWCs supply transport for the guards working against the current, while rescue boats patrol outside the surf line. The helicopter above provides a bird's eye view.
We're just doing surface dives with a line, so 3 people on a line, 4 people on a line. On a line search, you want to make sure that you're covering as much ground as possible because you don't want to miss anything. Because today we are going with the current. We have a pretty strong north and south current today. So my job is basically to go down 4 feet. You have your snorkel and mask on, so I just go 1, 2, 3. We all dive down 4 feet, kick forwards for a count of 4, come back up, make sure everyone's good. 1, 2, 3, do it again. And then basically just do that for probably 150, 200 yards. Because theoretically, the body would have been floating with the current, and you just keep on doing the line searches for the golden hour. And after an hour, theoretically, it would turn into recovery mode.
A half hour into the call, tension on the beach begins to rise.
He's kind of widening the search area. That's what's making me edgy.
I wish they'd give us more information.
If he was tightening the search area, that would be better news.
Rick, do we have everybody accounted for? Line search, dive members?
Yeah, we put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 line search teams all went into the water. 4 dive team members went in on scuba.
Okay, excellent.
40 different rescuers have joined the search, but under the waves, the rising swell is causing problems.
Visibility was pretty poor, especially in the head of the rip current, which is where the point last seen was. So based off of the visibility, we shortened up the line So it got to the point where you're pretty much holding hands with the person next to you.
We've got 3-foot surf. The visibility inside the surf line is not good. It's pretty turbid, and the current is moving from north to south quite a bit. So those are all factors that come into play that make finding a human body in the Pacific Ocean extremely challenging.
Once again, all swimmers and boogie boarders, come out of the water, exit the water this time.
Lifeguards have been searching for nearly an hour. Even with all their resources, lifeguards are still unable to find the victim.
At this point, we don't have any missing person reports for anybody.
When you start these things, the tendency is to think that, well, it might not be, a codex, it might not be a submerged swimmer, but then you're thinking, what if it is? So we go at it 100 miles an hour. We put all our resources out there.
The search hits the hour mark. There are no sightings in the water and no missing reports on land. Confident that this is a false alarm, Lewis calls off the search.
We've conducted a search for 1 hour based on witness testimony, a lack of report of a missing person. We're going to call this search at this time.
The information started to tell us that it wasn't a true codex, it wasn't a witness drowning, and it was most likely a non-call.
I see dispatch, we're going to be clear at Pacific Beach and command terminated.
It's actually a gratifying feeling seeing an incident being managed so well by our staff. Completely appropriate response on our part of the sergeants. This is a perfect scenario where a person actually is not missing after all, and everyone's going to get to go home safely tonight.